Hey guys, just wanted to share a thing I've been working on. So I tracked the shot. I've got a tutorial for that, for kind of how to generate a thing like this. that I'll link to below if you haven't seen it. And then from here, it gives you this cool point cloud. And so it was really easy to just stick some cubes in there that just kind of lined up like you go. All right, let's go until this kind of intersects, these tracking points, and then you're like, yeah, we'll add. You can add like this. I don't know. You just do it. But what I thought was cool is you can see like the texture just sticks to the geometry now because it's all lined up. And I thought, what if you could actually project, from the camera's point of view, this video texture back onto the footage, and then you could move elsewhere, and you could kind of design your own camera movement. And obviously, because of occlusions and stuff, it wouldn't work totally perfect, but it would give you some leeway. Because what I needed was a new establishing shot. Like, first thing you'll notice is I had a lot of moving parts. I was grabbing the shot at the very end of the day when everybody had to go home, and so the ending is in focus, but the further back we get, the more out of focus it becomes. And I was thinking, okay, well maybe we're following like a little floating robot or something through here, and then he drifts off and our attention passes onto her just as she comes into focus, and it looks like we planned all along. And that would be cool, except I wanted the camera to be moving differently. I want it to be coming from up above and kind of like swooping in, because I know it's out here on the ground and it would be kind of hard to do another shot like that. Okay, so getting this texture onto this geometry is not all that hard. So let's see here. Right now I have it as diffuse. I'm going to add in an emission shader, and I'm going to use the node wrangler, so I can just hit Control T and that loads in all of this stuff. Otherwise you just have to add the texture coordinate mapping and image texture nodes on their own. I'm going to use my video texture here, and I don't know how many frames it has, but just give it enough. Auto refresh, and right now I just have the video you can see as the background image overlaid over the thing. I'm going to uncheck that, and I think if I go into material preview, it's interesting. Well, first off, I have to change this to window, and that's going to project from the actual camera borders. And yeah, so now you can see the projector, or the texture is just projected onto the geometry. Unfortunately, we can't move from exactly this view because it's always going to be projecting from our view, which means if we add another camera, it still keeps doing whatever camera you're currently in. Here, I can change this to clip, so it's a little bit less weird. And I knew there used to be a way to do this back like 10 years ago. It called sticky textures, where you just stick it on there. But I just found out there is actually exactly a modifier that will fix this exact situation. So click on that, and we're going to add a UV project here. And we'll just use the UV map and use the camera. And that means now we can use our regular UV textures. And it doesn't exactly work, because the scale is wrong. I think it's projecting a square right now. So I think we can just, no, that should be 1. We just scale this down until it kind of fills up the view here. Yeah, that looks good. It gets a little bit jaggy around the edges, and I think that's literally just, we gotta subdivide it. Yeah, and that gets it a little bit straighter. So now if we go out, look at that. And so the whole thing's kind of normalized. You can still see a little bit because we didn't model her. Her perspective doesn't really match, and so the more I actually modeled of the scene, the more this would all, like if she's got a box of like vegetables right there that I think are like about here maybe. Oh, this is bizarre. Let's see. Let's just see what happens if we, yeah, we'll just add some little vegetable cups. Bevel it. Yeah, right? That's kind of, and unfortunately there isn't much you can do about, the stuff back here. Like you could just select all of these and make them, a gray texture, and I just try to reproject stuff that way. But this is going to be enough, this is going to be enough for us. So what I can do now, I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to select the original camera. That's the one that's doing the projection here. Woo! And I'm going to put it on a new layer. This is going to be cam layer. That was a bad name, but turn that off. And now we have another camera that still has the camera solver constraint on it from the motion tracking. And what's cool about that is it has all of the camera motion from the track built in, like, as a modifier, but it still doesn't have any actual keyframes on it, so it's really easy to animate it to do its own thing. So I'm gonna say, all right, we'll blend in with this shot around here. So add a keyframe here, and then, oh, we're not in that camera view. All right, here we go. And then the beginning, I'll just, let's see. We'll go up here. And if I want to turn all these off, I can just go to there. And also, I have a little bit of diffuse mixed in just to kind of show everything, but now this is just straight video texture. So now we can just swoop in like this, which is kind of nifty. And I might even pull the camera back a little bit. Cool. So that's just gonna really maximize the feeling of the space, I think. And let's do a little bit with the rotation too. Rotation will kind of be tilting down towards it as we swoop in. And actually, I think the actual shot's going to be more like this, which means we have even more room to cheat the where is it? Oh, there it is. To cheat this tilt down. And the camera will start kind of looking a bit up. Ooh, so kind of, yeah. Then we get to go in here and let's go into rendered view. And get to model just kind of our little, oh, I hit the, yeah. Cool. And then we just start to block in our thing here. Maybe like a patio up here. Back wall, stairs, we can do all of that, and we'll texture that, but then we still get our, woo! We get our little camera view! And this is nifty to me. This also means I think we can change, like, you know, the focal width, and obviously if we go wider than the original camera, we get black there, but for this part, that doesn't matter. It only matters once we get into the edges here, and so maybe I'll put in like a subtle zoom. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I'm pretty excited that this turned out like this, and I will just wanted to share it. All right. See ya.